Hello and welcome back to another video in the world of Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Today is all about the normal GunLance progression, and I have not played any form of GunLance in Iceborne. This is basically my first time going into it. Been trying to test out a few progression builds as I went along, and I can't get to grips with the slinger, sniper, worm stake move thing, mainly just because I'm just sort of quite set in my old school ways of how you used to play GunLance, so I kind of feel like I am dropping out a lot of damage at the moment in my GunLance play, so please do forgive the newbiness. However, that being said, I do feel like GunLance is in a really solid position right now, especially because of this lovely boomstick that we can get hold of, the Queen's Penelope, the Gold Rathian boomstick. It hits like a truck. It is absolutely amazing. However, in comparison to her switch axe or even longsword, I do feel like it does fall short just a little bit in comparison to some of the other melee weapons, but in comparison to what GunLance has been, I do feel like it is in the best place possible. So let's have a look at some of the progression we can do with GunLance, shall we? Now, to get you started, I've come up with this. This actually works really well early game. It just falls short really bloody quick, simply because of how much damage you eventually start taking. Although that might just be me, I'm not particularly good with GunLance, so a bit more of an experienced player could probably make better use of it or come up with something better. I found the damage to work perfectly fine using 3-piece Kaiser Gamma. Master rank equipment would obviously be the Royal Burst Plus, which is the Rathian obviously, and then the Rathalos Male Beta, and then the Baroth Coil Beta, which are again both master rank pieces. We have 2 level 4 decoration slots spare, so feel free to put in there what you want. You might notice we're only running Artillery 2 and Critical Boost 2, so if you want to fill those in with to make Artillery 3 or Critical Boost 3, go right ahead. Up next, we are utilising that lovely Nagakuga set. We've basically swapped out the Kaiser Gamma for Nagakuga. If you don't have Artillery Jewels, feel free to swap out the Charm. Literally, these are just slight rough guides just to sort of get people started. The 3-piece Nagakuga gives us Razor Sharp, which halves our sharpness consumption, which works for both melee attack as well as the full burst, which we all know will destroy your sharpness. We've got magazine in there, and we have artillery level 3. We are running a little bit of peak performance, but it's only at level 1, so as long as you can maintain your max health, you're good to go. A little bit of evade window, which is definitely going to help out, but we have the core skills all there, and defense wise, you're fine. You've just taken a slight drop in damage to allow for this set to actually take place. Up next, we do have an odd build. It does work late game as well. Slightly lower on the damage side, but if you feel like never ever sharpening, then this is really for you. We're running 3-piece Kaiser as well as the Razor Sharp spare shot charm. Now, the reason this is in place is the melee attacks assumingly will get a lot of crits, so you won't lose sharpness, and then with the full burst, the Razor Sharp spare shot charm will come into play, so hopefully you shouldn't have to sharpen that much. We are finally in a little bit of the old white as we've upgraded our GunLance as well. And again, all the core skills are there. The only thing that I could potentially suggest swapping out would be that Challenger Deco to potentially put in a magazine. That is the only thing that this is missing. However, feel free to chop and change what you will. This does work pretty darn well late game. Like I said, it's just a bit more comfort over being OP. Now onto the final 2 builds. They are both the late game, end game builds that are currently in place for normal GunLance. However, one is a little bit more comfortable, the other is a little bit more OP. So it all really does depend on you and how you wish to play. So I'm going to go with the one that I'm using in this video first, as I found it a lot more comfortable, a lot more bearable to use, although if not, just ever so slightly less on the damage. Now for this you will need to put your arse in gear and farm the grinding lands like a bastard, because you're going to need 3 pieces or a Magdaros, which can only be found or made from the materials you get in the guiding lands, such as the mining and the bones. We've also running the Queen's Panoply, however you pronounce that, which is the max gold Rathian GunLance with an affinity and health augment. Got an attack deco in there. Zora Alpha helmet with tenderizer. Zora Alpha chest with critical expert. Damascus fan braces beta with attack dual 4 and then a level 1 attack. Zora Spine Alpha with magazine and tenderizer, and then Garuga Greaves with expert dual 4 critical, and then the razor sharp spare shot charm. I also like running the Rocksteady with maintenance and impact with KO. I find this just gives me a lot more CC and sustain in a fight, so I can just sit there and full burst away. And as for the final build, it's pretty damn similar. Slightly higher EFR, but you are relying a little bit more on protective polish, which therefore does mean you are sharpening a lot more frequently. Again, Queen's whatever the hell with affinity and health with an attack deco. Zora Alpha with tenderizer critical. Zora chest with sharp expert. Kaiser van braces with hard enduring, which is your item prolonger, and a challenger. Zora Spine Alpha with magazine and tenderizer, and Garuga Greaves with critical, and an expert dual 4. This does give you slightly more EFR, like I said, but you're sharpening a lot, and I do mean a lot more, because the moment protective polish runs out, you basically want to sharpen again. Now the main difference really is in the charm, whereas the first build runs razor sharp spare shot. This runs challenger, which is a lot of where that lot of extra damage actually comes from. But overall, I prefer the first. I just find it a lot more comfortable and a lot more safe. Anyway, that is just about it for me. Please don't critique my GunLance gameplay too harshly. I got bullied by this Kushala in this. So hopefully you'll forgive me. But in the meantime, have fun, good luck, and don't die. It's bad for the health.